Welcome to another Power Cube draft here on my channel. I've been doing a bunch of these and I've been getting kind of pummeled more than I would like. So I've come up with a new stipulation, which is I'm going to take power first, obviously, but beyond power, I'm going to take the cheapest, most interactive card in every pack because it feels like that has been the most punishing thing that's been happening to me. Either busted power starts or tons of cheap interaction, or the combination of the two. In the most recent draft, oh, that was brutal. Opponent just drew 10, 12 cards off Skull Clamp, and half of them were 1-mana removal spells, and blew up all of my Nissa lands, killed all of my Goloses, and everything else I had going on. I just couldn't play Magic. So, okay, here we have no power. So the next best thing is interaction. We have Legion Extruder, Tidebinder and I guess 3 steps ahead as pieces of interaction. Giver of Runes is similar, but not exactly interaction. It did beat the crap out of me in one of the matches and is a 1-drop. So do I lean more into cheapest or do I lean more into most interactive? I think I'm going to lean more into cheapest. And like my stipulation will go power, followed by cheap, followed by interaction. And then we'll see if this stipulation just ends up turning into a strategy, because I need to turn around my win rate. Hovering just above 50% or something like that, which is pretty painful given where I think my expectations should be in Vintage Cube. But I guess best of 1 probably draws that closer to 50% than it would be in a best of 3. Still, though, let's not make excuses. Let's just try to figure out how we could play and be our best. Now here, there's no power. The cheapest card is Redirect Lightning, but I'm not convinced this is a real card. So outside of that, we could go for Bloodstained Mire, or the next most interactive would be like Kolaghan's Command or Spellbinder. Given that we have a giver, giving a giver, I think I'm inclined to take the Spellbinder. It's cheap enough and it's interactive enough, and it's on color with the giver. So we'll take that over the Mire and over the K command, and we'll see how we develop from here. We could potentially wheel a Scrubland. We could potentially wheel one of these green-white lands. We'll kind of see how that develops. Okay, perfect. We have Path to Exile, which is just like the second best removal spell ever printed. And we'll take that here over a Retrofitter or a Descendant of Storm or a Remand or a Ghostfire Slice. I do like Remand, but we're just going to take the premium 1-drop removal here and stay on plan. Now, stipulation-wise, we should be taking a Galvanic Blast, and we might. I know Boros has been kind of nerfed, but we're not exactly looking like an aggro deck. We're more looking like an interactive deck. And I think mid-range Boros is kind of the direction that the Cube designers tried to push it in. Alternatively, what we could take is a Caustic Bronco, which is very cheap and kind of provides recursive value. If we wheel Scrubland, it'll play nicely with our starting cards. Otherwise, there's Haywire Might, which is kind of interactive, but a little bit far from what we're doing. I think over the shock, I'm going to take the Caustic Bronco. If this was Lightning Bolt, I would take it. If it was even the energy one, I'd probably take it. But given that it's mostly going to be a shock on expectation, I don't think it's that high value. Now here we have a bunch of options. Memory Lapse, Reprieve, which is kind of the same card in a lot of ways. Oust. Peacekeeper is like another Elite Spellbinder type effect, which is interesting. There's a Monolith, but I'm off that plan. I think I'm just going to take the Reprieve here over the Oust and over the Memory Lapse, given that Memory Lapse is in a different color. And I do think I like Reprieve a little bit more than Oust. I could be wrong about that, but let's grab that. Ooh, Mana Tithe, Makti, Bats, Flame Slash. These are all, and March is also interactive. Oh. This is interesting. I kind of want to take Mana Tithe, but I feel like these other cards are all better. I do like Deep Cavern Bats. It's nice and disruptive, but it also can be disrupted. Mana Tithe can be a dead draw sometimes. It's better if I'm going to be aggressive, which I don't know if I'm going to be. I think I'm going to take the Mokti. I feel like that is a very nice disruptive card. So here, the only things that are on color really are Ephemerate or maybe Unburial Rites, which is not something I'm looking to do. We could potentially play a Tursa and pivot into white-red, but actually, I kind of want to play Ephemerate. It's not a 0 right now. It could dodge removal. It could reset Spellbinder. But also, it can get very good if I end up with Solitudes and things like that. Oh, wow. It also is pretty good with Overlord of the Mistmoors. Containment Priest can be super oppressive. Flicker Wisp is nice. Gideon's okay, but I'm not a huge fan. I don't think the Saboteur is particularly. Someone's going to have to play it against me for me to care. So I think given my stipulation, I'm supposed to take the Priest over the Overlord of the Mistmoors. The Overlord does seem like, you know what? I'm going to take the Overlord. Sorry, stipulation, but that plus Ephemerate seems like it'd be tremendous. And now I don't know that I would be playing any of these cards. So maybe I'll take the Crabomination in case I somehow backdoor into some kind of reanimate thing. I think it's slightly better than the other options. Ultima does a lot of things. It also punishes me significantly, but I don't know that we're anywhere near white-green. So let's take it, and then we'll decide if we want to play it later or not. Eagles is nice. Yeah, just easily Eagles over a tapped person land. And now I think Tracker's the best out of these. And I guess Keen-Eyed Curator. I'm not really looking to be white-green, but green does seem exceptionally open, as is very often the case in these drafts. So here, the interactive spells are Vindicate, Harvester of Misery, at least in my colors. Adeline, I think, is a good bit better than Harvester or Vindicate. So I will take the Adeline, sort of going against my stipulation a bit, but I think the delta is sufficient to justify that. Now here there's a lot of really good red cards, but we're not anywhere near red. What does Sephiroth do? 3 mana, 3/3. When it enters or attacks, I could bin creatures to draw cards. Whenever a creature dies, you drain for 1. And if it happens 4 times, I flip it into a big 5/5 flyer, which is never going to happen. See how that's supposed to happen. I don't think I could play Balance. I've got too many creatures. I could take Probe. I could take Psychic Frog or Joshua. Huh. I mean, I have a Sapphire already. I could, like, blue can cast Mokti. Or I also could just ditch black and play red, in which case Fable is very good. You know, I'm going to click on this Fable because we actually didn't see a ton of black, and now we see a Comet. So yeah, I do think red-white is back on the menu because the only black card we have is this Caustic Brankle. It's not even that amazing. Okay, now maybe we just grab an Arid Mesa, Yera, and Oski, and bounce a Giver to play this cheap. That's a little bit disruptive. Talia is also disruptive, but Talia is also kind of washed and makes my Comet harder to cast. So let's just take the Arid Mesa here, which seems fantastic. Oh, Day of Judgment. Another Wrath effect. I mean, We're really not trying to be a Wrath deck. We could actually end up being a token deck. We have Comet, we have Overlord, we have Adeline. If we have Fable, if we end up getting Elspeth, we could be a pretty nice token deck. That being said, what are we going to take here if we're not taking the white card and there's no red cards? I guess we could take a Raucous Theater in case, well, we just want a tapped red Surveil land that we could fetch, or in case we do play red and black. And again, I don't know if I'm all that eager to grab a Day of Judgment here when I'm pretty heavy on the creature side of things. Armor rate notably does not hit planeswalkers. Or enchantments for that matter. So this is an interesting deck. We might, Solitude's fantastic here. There's also Pyrokinesis and Portable Hole and Plateau. We just have our pick of P words, but we're definitely going to take the S word because Solitude and Ephemerate is just backbreaking, and Solitude is, I think, a better card than all of these, save maybe Pyrokinesis, and it's unclear how free Pyrokinesis will be given how heavily white we are. Now here, Starting Town seems very good. So yeah, we'll just take a Starting Town here over a bunch of stuff that we're not very eager to play. Okay, here we've got some options. We've got Sunbaked Canyon, which is a nice little way to generate value. Foundry, I'd love to have, but there's also a Plateau that might wheel. Lingering Souls could be very good, especially if we just already are starting to have access to black. So let's actually grab the Lingering Souls and hope that we don't regret that. Okay, now there's some white-black cards again. The Harvester came back. We take a Voldaren Epicure. I don't know that this really accomplishes much for me. I want a Blood Tithe Harvester or a Harvester of Misery. I think I'm going to take the Harvester of Misery. There's a chance I just don't play any of these cards. But there's also a chance that I do play Harvester, and I think that chance is higher than Blood Tithe Harvester. Sorry, Harvester of Misery over Blood Tithe Harvester. So we're starting to get a bit of a maybe pile going. Do we ever just value Breach? No, right? Bad, and you should feel bad. I think I take a red fetch here. And hopefully I wheel that Plateau. Take a Showdown. Showdown's playable. Sorry about the dog barking. Dog is unhappy about my drafting, it turns out. And now the whatever Vera, Yura, Oski, the Weaver and Guide. Weaver and the Guide are here. I will play them. I'm not convinced that it's amazing, but we'll give it a try. Are we not going to get the Plateau or the Sacred Foundry? That'd be somewhat disappointing. But not the end of the world. Yikes. So someone moved into red-white, or they're just playing 5 colors and they took my lands. Sad days. Okay, so cheap interaction is Chain Lightning. Cheap interactions, Chain Lightning. There's Ong's Iceberg as another piece of decent interaction. Pyrogoyf is probably the best card in the pack. I don't know that we're going to be doing any Animate Dead stuff. Is Anduril any good? Another token card. It seems really slow. It can do some things. No, I'm just going to take Pyrogoyf. Actually, maybe I'm supposed to take Chain Lightning. Stipulation. Stipulation. We've been denying the stipulation for too long. Take the cheap card. The hushed awe goes over the crowd as he passes Pyrogryph for chain lightning. Look, I want to lean towards the stipulation, even if I haven't fully obeyed it. Let's see what this looks like. Ugh, it doesn't look great. Happened to our draft here. Ooh, saved? Saved by the monkey pirate? Mountain monkey go? We could potentially wheel a smuggler's copter or monastery mentor as well, but we're pretty happy to see the monkey here, even if he's ending up in the wrong slot. The arena's just not great at assigning cards to slots here, or much of anything else that it tries to do for you. Okay, another Wrath of God. There seems to be a lot more of those than any red-white player would ever want. But what else can we really take here? We could take a Jetmir's Garden as tapped red-white land, but also our first red-white land. I guess that's acceptable. First red-white land is important. Essentially our second tapped land if we want to play this Surveil land. And currently with the Lingering Souls, I do like having access to black. Having access to black and it being tapped isn't great, but I think having access to black and Surveil all of a sudden makes it worth it. What do we have here now? We have Bitter Triumph. Oh, wait, we're not black. We have Unholy Heat. We have Overlord of the Boiler Bilges, which is nice with Ephemerate. And there is Touch of the Spirit Realm and Abandoned Air Temple. How are we looking on playables? This is pack 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands, putting us at 16 cards. We need like another 7 playables. So I think what we're going to want to do here is grab either Unholy Heat or Touch of the Spirit Realm. Let's go with Unholy Heat here. Again, just really leaning into the cheaper spells. Ooh, a Braid is great. We do need 2 drops, and this also hits artifacts. So that's pretty nice. I would not mind having access to that Touch of the Spirit Realm as either a removal spell or a way to flicker a Solitude or an Overlord, kind of a second version of Ephemerate. And now here we have Prismatic Vista, which I wouldn't mind, but I think I'm going to take the Carnage Interpreter because I do feel like we're a little light on threats. And here we just take Evora, which is not amazing, but if you go Evora into Fable, Evora into Carnage Interpreter, you can sometimes do some things. And it's a piece of the curve that we need. Excuse me. Speaking of pieces of the curve that we need, Samwise slots in very nicely. Also pretty good with Ephemerate. We're at 21 now. You can take a red-white Talisman or a Goldspan Dragon. I don't love playing Talismans, so let's just grab the Dragon. Okay, here's another Surveil land that taps for black. Let's grab that as an option since there's nothing else in the pack for us. We need like one more playable. Overall, kind of disappointed with this draft. I feel like I've been disappointed with my drafts a lot lately. We'll play this. I mean, there is a chance we can cast it off an adventure. Now here, I guess, miss for the rest of the draft. We got to bring in something from here. We could bring in Ultima. Could bring in a black card. Could even bring in Unearth, which sometimes just cycles. But I guess if we happen to have the black, it can be a nice value play. What is going on? No red cards left, huh? No red white cards. Everyone moved in. Maybe I'm the one who moved in. Am I the baddie? Who knows? Okay, how are we looking on mana? What does Wooded Foothills do? Currently, it is tricolor. Starting Town's also tricolor. Hills is also tricolor. This is 1, 2. Mesa is also tricolor. 1, 2, 3, 4 tricolor lands. So we have enough black to justify Lingering Souls and potentially also a black card. We don't need to bring in the Shadowy Backstreet, I don't think. Then we have 8, 12 white, and we have 5, 6, 7, 11 red. Our mana is pretty perfect. Oh, wait, why does this say 10 red? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11. This untapped overlay is terrible. I hope people don't rely on it because it's very misleading. 4, 11, 12. This is 12, 11, which is fantastic. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. Oh, wait. We have an extra land. That could be part of the reason. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 19. We have an extra 2 lands. So this is 11, 11. And then if we want to reduce the planes, this is now 11, 10 in favor of red. 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 4, 9, 10. 11, 10 in favor of red, which we want because we want Ragavan out as often as possible. Now, in terms of black, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black sources. So that's more than enough for Lingering Souls. Is it enough to bring in another black card? We also could go up to 6 black, but I don't know how many more tap lands I want. We already have 2. What else could we realistically play, though? We have kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green sources. So we actually could just play the front. We could play Seek the Beast and then randomly have access to Questing Druid, which seems okay. It gives us a little bit more card draw and also means that we're not really main decking any non-red or white cards. So yeah, I like it. Let's run it like this. We'll see you in round 1. Round 1 here with this Boros mid-rangey interactive deck, and seems fine. I guess we're fetching a tapped white land on turn 1, and then probably gonna go Mokti on turn 2. But we can get more information before we make that decision. So here we can go Jetmir's Garden because we need white. Oh, we got the white anyway. All right, so now do we want Evora or do we want Mokti? I think we want Mokti because it's more disruptive and we're not immediately going to cash in anything off this Evora. When we're able to get the stuff out of our hand and we're close to Carnage Interpreter, I'll be more interested in getting Evora down. Opponent is on the power plan and we've set them back 1 mana already with Mokti. Ooh, and now we get to hold up Reprieve. So there's not a point in doing this now. Let's hit for 2. And then let's play. Oh, we could play Evora and hold up Path to Exile instead of Reprieve, which seems fine. We also could Blood Token on end step. We might Blood Token away this Chain Lightning. We'll see what the opponent does here. They're considering their options. Happy Cheesesteak over there. 4 mana into a Liliana. Okay, well, I guess Path of Exile is not the line here, but maybe we actually Blood Token the Path to Exile, and we Chain Lightning the Lily. Well, we probably don't have to do that. They're going to make us sacrifice a creature. We will sacrifice Evora. And I still think we're going to loot away this Chain Lightning, and we'll just attack Lily with Mach-D. Oh, that's nice. See the Mesa. Attack Lily. I kind of want to hold up reprieve, but I also want to get Yura and Oski down. We in-web this. In-web it. Bounce Mach-D for no value, but that's fine. And now we see Mind Twist, Natural Order, Nissa. We can make something cost 1 more. So they're at 4. They'll be at 5 mana next turn. Let's actually make Planeswalker cost 1 more. Or do we want to make Sorcery cost 1 more? If we make Sorcery cost 1 more, it might buy us time to play our spells. They're going to either Mind Twist or Nissa us. So we're going to need to hold up reprieve. So let's do it on Sorcery. And then we're going to pass holding up reprieve because I want to get Mind Twisted. So regardless of what their play is, we're reprieving it, and we're going to hope that things don't work out too badly for us from that point. Yeah, let's reprieve that. There's an Ephemerate, which could do some things with Tarnish Interpreter. Now let's go and get a Surveil land. And Sam. I mean, we're going to have 5 mana. Oh no, we're only going to have 4 mana. I think we want to hit lands because if they're going to Mind Twist us again, we're going to need to like play some of these lands. Because what we could do is Carnage Interpreter and Ephemerate and just make like a million treasure tokens, I guess. And that will play around Mind Twist. We did hit a mountain, which is nice. Play this. We could just go Mach-D into Carnage Interpreter, actually. And then that plays around Mind Twist. I mean, it basically nullifies the Mind Twist. And then they could Nissa and make a land, but their Nissa is going to be in a lot of trouble. So yeah, I kind of like this. Unfortunately, we don't get to do the Carnage Interpreter Ephemerate business, but that's fine. Tapped Coalition Relic. Fanatic, which is also tapped. Oh, this kills the Fanatic. This also can just kill Nissa, which is pretty great. Why don't we start by attacking with everything? Oh, we don't want to get natural ordered, though. Yeah, I'd rather get Nissa than natural ordered. So let's do 6 here. And we can crack a clue just to see if we have something we could play. It's not something we could play. We want to cycle this for a land. Right, I guess so, because then we could crack another clue on their end step. And there's some chance that that's just going to get Mind Twisted anyway. That's your ball game. All right, we got it done. See you in the next round. Round 2 against Dr. the Vader, or wait, Darth Vader? Awkwardly spelled Darth Vader. We have a pretty bad hand as far as our deck's hands are capable of being. Would we keep this? We have a turn 2 Yera and Oski, which isn't bad, but then we kind of don't do anything for a while. I think it's okay. I think this is better than mulliganing. And we'll see if I'm made to regret it. So let's do this, let's do that, and let's say go. Do this, do that, yeah. Play a plains and a sapphire. Hello. Tap land. Okay, so Yura and Oski is going to do relevant things here. Hopefully we draw red from here. Okay, what do we have? We have, oh boy, some kind of cheaty deck. Palantir, Esper Origins, the Fairy Time Raveler. I think we want to name Planeswalker. I don't mind them having Palantir because I could take the damage. And the rest of the stuff doesn't seem super relevant yet. So if you can keep them off of meaningful plays until turn 4, that could be to our benefit. That's a fantastic draw. And I think we're going to play it untapped because then we could just snug the Palantir. Oh, wait, it just plays untapped anyway. Duh. Oh, wait, we have 4 mana, right? Do I want a Showdown? Till the end of my next turn, I could play the top 4. How many of these top 4 can I effectively play? I think we could play a decent bit of them. So next turn, I guess we could play exactly 2 of them. We'll go Plains Adeline or Mountain Adeline. Solitude is going to bite the dust, but that is acceptable. We can go Adeline into a Braid. I'm not going to give them the card off Palantir this turn, but I do wonder if I'm going to get hit for like 12 or something on Mana Crypts. Played the Planeswalker, but they chose not to. Double bottom. Have opponent targeting you, draw a card. I would rather lose life. I've lost 0 life. Okay, whenever I cast a spell, let's cast a Adeline. And now, when does this go away? I have one more turn of this, so I can Samwise this back next turn. So I think what I'm going to do is just abrade the Mana Crypt. Is that possible? I think that's right. I do want to limit their mana. As much as the Mana Crypt will help with the clock. And let's put, I guess we want to put the counter on Yira because if they're going to bounce something with Teferi, I'd rather they don't bounce Adeline because Adeline, I think, is a bigger threat. Take away their mana, and we can Solitude, but that seems incredibly terrible. Yeah, hit. Now they still can't cast a fairy unless they play an untapped land. And then the best thing they could do is to fairy and bounce something, and we still get some showdown action. Seems like we're pretty far ahead against Mr. Vader or Mr. Skywalker, as it were. We could buy back the showdown with Samwise. That's pretty sweet. Probably not necessary, but sweet. Opponent deciding if they're going to interact with something, whether it would be the Adeline or the Yira and Oski. Yep. They probably pick up the Adeline here, is my assumption. Yep. And now I will lose life. I don't think I'm getting 19'd here, but it's not impossible. 3. All right, Showdown is gone. I can add a line. I probably want to go get planes here because that's a free roll. And now I have 5 mana. I can add a line plus Samwise. I can Unholy Heat Fairy, but that doesn't seem super relevant. So yeah, let's add a line here. Put a counter on, I guess, a 1/1. And I can make the other thing attack there, guy. Let's play Samwise. Put a counter on this again. Get back our Showdown. That might prompt a concession. I will make Samwise a ring bearer, I guess. Seems fitting. We'll go 5 here. We'll go 3 here and add a line. We'll make a token that finishes off to fairy. Here we go. Flash doesn't save you. Flash plus gain some life also doesn't seem like it's going to save you. Shock yourself certainly doesn't seem like it's going to save you. Are they going to try to just kill me with the Palantir off like Emrakul something something? Maybe I'll give them the card now. I can't imagine giving them the card is going to alter the way this game goes. Certainly not after they've resigned. Right? I'm liking the way that this cheap spell interactive deck is playing out. Imagine when Boros was aggressive and had good aggro cards and still accessed all of this stuff. This is like the second or third best thing Boros could have done in the prior version of the cube. So pretty interesting to see that it's still powerful. See you in the next one. Heading into game 3 here, 2-0 with our little red-white interactive aggressive deck. This hand is not amazing. I think it's keepable. We have interaction. We have a good threat. That's also great. So let's play Raucous Theater. I will keep the Overlord of the Mistmoors. And then we'll go Plains, hold up a Braid, / Plane Cycle. And then next turn play Fable. Could also flicker the Reflection of Kiki Jiki if it gets in trouble. That could be an interesting thing to do. I think I kind of want to flicker the Overlord though. Opponent doesn't do anything. Let's go Plane Cycle this. We'll grab a Plains, I guess. And now, if we're going to play something into Counter Magic, I think we'd rather play the Adeline. Oh, no. Yeah. Well, if it's Counter Magic or removal, Adeline has more lines of dying. If it's just removal, Fable's better. If it's Counter Magic, if it's just Counter Magic, Adeline's better. I think we'll lead on the Fable. Lets them miscalc and spell pierce on memory lapse is acceptable. Now, if they tap out here, we could play an Overlord. Oh, they're just going to wasteland me. Okay. Guess I'm never flashing back Lingering Souls. But now I get to play Adeline. I don't get to play the Overlord, which is unfortunate with an Ephemerate in hand. I get to play the Adeline or the Fable. I think I'm going to play the Fable. This is more resilient to removal and currently cannot be countered outside of a Force of Will, Force of Negation, or Daze. And now we've got a threat in play. It actually doesn't get them that much closer. Oh, that part's annoying. So I guess with the Caracas there, we're going to be getting rid of Adeline, and it doesn't look like a Braid's that great here either. Yikes. Okay, so here we're going to play Mesa, grab a Mountain, and play the Overlord. Impending. Oh, if they Mana Tithe this, that'd be brutal. Nope, just plain cycling and Eagles. Okay. Raucous is such a good card. I had to actually cycle away our Adeline, but what are you going to do? So we get a couple 1/1s. We have a great ephemerate target here. But there's a good chance that we're just going to attack with Goldspan next turn. The old Teferi game. That is fine. I mean, they can Wrath of God at instant speed here. So there's a fairly good chance I don't want to Goldspan. So that being the case, let's just go ahead and attack everything onto Fairy, because I'm not too worried about 2 life, but I do want to get this thing off the board if at all possible. Okay. No instant speed Wrath of God makes me feel better. So I think here we'll just pass. And the question is now, are we going to ephemerate the Reflection or the Overlord? Preordain is acceptable. I mean, ephemerate the Overlord on their end step plus, and then Reflection it on our turn is pretty okay. Wait, there's the Day of Judgment. So now I guess we could ephemerate the Kiki Jiki. Oh, it's not legendary. Oh, they can't even Caracas it. That's pretty good. We could ephemerate this now to save it. And then we have a new Fable, which we'll lose the Fable token, but we get to loot away these lands. And then when next turn, we get ephemerate the Overlord. Now let's just thin out the deck a bit here. Guess we'll get a Jetmir's Garden. And now here. Oh, we can't ephemerate it because it's not a creature. Why did I think I could do that? Okay. Well, that's fine. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just hit with Goldspan Dragon. Make a treasure. And we could Carnage Interpreter immediately. I have some amount of concern about opponent having more Wrath of God. So let's hold off on this. Maybe we'll try to use the Chain Lightning before we overextend into a Wrath. Okay, so it looks like there's no Wrath incoming. Now we have a Reprieve, which is great. So let's, we don't have any clues currently. Let's actually just hang out and sit on Reprieve. And maybe this Overlord of the Mistmoors can do something dirty next turn if it gets to live. Not legendary. I will Reprieve that. And now we get to make 2 Overlords. So, oh, wait. I think we just win. Make an Overlord. Let's dash a Ragavan. 12, 14. Chain Lightning is not lethal. And this doesn't impact it yet. So let's hit with everything here. Make loads of birds. They could bounce Ragavan, I guess. I hadn't quite considered that, but they're in a lot of trouble here. And I think what we're going to do is Chain Lightning you now. And I guess next turn they get to Sunfall. And then we get to play Evora, dash Ragavan, and play Carnage Interpreter. Now we go Evora. Maybe we don't even dash. Not too big of a point in dashing. Oh, I guess we wanted to dash so that we can Carnage Interpreter without discarding the Ragavan. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake. But think that's okay. And they also missed it. So, yep. Let's pass here. Opponent can bounce something, but that's okay. And now we have threats. We have cards. Opponent's at 1. At some point, Comet. I don't know. At some point, something will get through. Oust the Interpreter. Acceptable. Well, it's funny. We could actually play Samwise here, but it doesn't actually contribute much to their ability to. Here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to play Evora. That's Flash. We're going to give them an opportunity to make a mistake here by potentially prematurely bouncing Evora, thinking that they could block Ragavan with the 8/8. And then what we could do is Ring Bearer the Ragavan. Otherwise, what we could do is let them block it, eat it, and then we Sam and then just play out all of our cards. This is a little bit of a free roll and a little bit of a forcing function. Yep, they're doing that. That is fine. Now we'll just replay out the Ragavan. And I think what we're going to do is Carnage Interpreter, and with the trigger on the stack, we're going to Ring Bearer it. So it's a Menacey Ring Bearer. And it's also immune to Caracas. So they're going to need an answer for Carnage Interpreter. And their Caracases are fairly taxed here as well. Cyclo Miscalc is fine. Still have 7 clues in the hole here. Would have loved Broadside Bombardiers or something along those lines. Oh, is this a Snap Wrath of God? Yeah, that's pretty good. Snap Sunfall is pretty good. I don't have any way of sacking things. Okay. Yeah, the fact that half my cards are legendary certainly not helping my cause against the Caracas Sunfall deck. A little late on that and that. Can we find something to just straight up win the game? Not exactly. So we could play the Giver and hold up Solitude for one of these 8/8s, I guess. And at some point, this Giver is going to be a problem. The opponent still has 5 cards in hand, 4 cards in hand. We still have 5 clues. This game is a lot closer than I'd like it to be. But how many Wrath of Gods can a mid-range creature deck survive, realistically speaking? Touch of the Spirit Realm is acceptable. Excuse me. Yeah, I guess we're going to give them the life. Because now we're no longer racing, we're really just grinding with all these clues. Hopefully they're out of sunfalls and things. Oh, that's pretty obnoxious. Okay, that's interesting, actually. We can do this. That's great. Oh, well, a little late. Late, but great. And then we have what until my next end step, which is this one. So we could lose the Path of Exile to get this out, or we could just leave this out and then Comet, activate Comet, make a couple squirrels, Path to Solitude. Okay, so Comet is strong here. We could send one that, well, that actually won't even risk Comet dying, right? Yeah, send one. We'll leave one back to chump. Jesus. This deck is insane. This is a showdown. We'll start with this. Add this. Almost wonder if that was done in the wrong order, but we'll see. Oh, nice. We can get rid of Comet. That's pretty good. Good planes. Could play. Can't play this turn. We can play it next turn, right? So the end of your next turn. Okay. So play this. And we can't really attack with the squirrel. We can hang out. We have 3 cards left. So that is something that we need to be wary of. But we can put some counters on this Makti. We have Lingering Soul. We have a bunch of flyers left. So we do have a reasonable clock here. I mean, it's gonna depend on what the opponent's got left too. They're close to not being able to block this Questing Druid as well. That's a pretty good one. Okay, let's play Lingering Souls. Put a counter on Makti. Play these people. And then Questing Druid is going to get big enough on its own. So let's put counters and some flyers. Parallax Wave? Are you kidding me? And Ultima. Oh my god. I think we just lose. That's insane. We block the 6 here. They bounce the Makti. I mean, yeah, it was just like miserably dead. Wow. That's absurd. We're just going to get decked here. 3 cards left? Not even 3 cards left. We have 2 cards left. Didn't even notice the Restless Fortress. They even let the Makti stick. Probably because they're just going to wrath everything. Wow. Well played to the opponent. Destroy all artifacts and creatures. It's like just nothing I can do about it. I can play a Spellbinder, and then it just gets Parallax Waved. Oh, brutal. I don't even get the Spellbinder. All right. GG. Just infinite Wraths and counter magic. Well, not counter magic. Infinite Wraths, and they had Ultima, Day of Judgment, Sunfall, Snapcaster Sunfall, Fractured Identity, Wings of Abandon. Yeah. Brutal. All right. See you in the next one. All right. Welcome back to another round with this red-white aggressive interactive deck. We're going to keep the turn one monkey. Sadly, we're on the draw, so it's not as much monkey business as we'd like. We actually start with Unholy Heat is the question. I think I just want to get the monkey down. We don't even have an untapped land next turn anyway, so let's put the monkey down. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have a kill spell. Got a little bit of a red-white mirror going here. They don't have a kill spell yet. Let's see if this one is a level up or a kill spell. Hope it's just a level up. Oh, beautiful. That I'm very happy about. Okay. Oh, they don't attack either, which is fine because we have Unholy Heats. Let's Unholy Heat the figure and then get in with the monkey and see what monkey see monkey do. All right, Miss Morse is gone, and let's just play a Raucous Theater. And I think we want to keep that on top because that's going to get us a turn 4 Goldspan Dragon. Bonus on Jeskai, actually. A little bit different than what we imagined. Play a Joshua. All right, let's let them make their Joshua decisions. I think we're just going to Solitude it on their end step because we want this monkey business to continue. Yeah, let's Solitude Joshua, say goodbye to Sam. And continue said monkey business. Oh, we actually also could just Goldspan Dragon this turn. We want to do that. I think actually playing Monastery Mentor seems better here. Now we play Sapphire. And I don't think I want to Evora. I think I want to play a land, and then next turn we have access to Goldspan Dragon. Comet is pretty good. Let's see what you hit. Hopefully not a 6. Okay, 3 I can live with. And they're bringing back a land. That's like the worst Comet in history. Okay, so what are we going to do here? I think we're going to attack Comet with Goldspan Dragon. And then our opponent with everything else. Seems pretty good. Monkey business continues. And we want to play this Intrepid Adversary. I mean, I guess we can. Oh, wait. Can we... Hang on. We can actually pick it. All right. Yes, we can. Nice. All right. No Wrath of Gods, please. I'm tired of getting Wrath. I guess we're getting Wrathed. That's very disappointing. But we can rebuild. We have the technology. And let's wait till end step to do any kind of Evoraing. Man, that is so frustrating. Play a mid-range creature deck and just run into Wrath of God decks over and over again. And like it's best of one, so like can't sideboard our way around it. And they're just gonna lose to like non-creature decks. Let's Guard a mountain. Buff this Evora. Path is pretty good here. Don't know that we're going to use it yet. I think what we want to do, well, actually, no, we do need to path it so that we can go. And keep the blood train going. Get protection from red. And I'm going to start doing VV things. And VV's kind of slow. Kind of insane to me that they're running Sunfall and Figure of Destiny and Overlord in the same deck, and Monastery Mentor and Joshua and Intrepid Adversary. Mind-boggling. They made a talisman that scared me for a minute because I feel like they're going to do some big card draw go off thing. Well, I guess we just start with this. Oh, we could have picked up the thing. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Great. So they're actually going to have enough for that because of VV. Wow. The VV Abandoned Air Temple hardcast portal is just mind-boggling to me. I mean, the portal to Phyrexia Figure of Destiny deck? What? What am I seeing? Like, what am I losing to? I'm like baffled by this. Yeah. All right. Gosh, they can get Solitude. Any Braids. Any Braids. We're just gonna chill because we can't really get our only threat solituded. They're playing Solitude already? Okay. I mean, I guess it's just gonna keep lifelinking, and if it ever dies, they just bring it back. So Figure of Destiny Monastery Mentor Portal to Phyrexia deck. That's the new one. I gotta go hats off for creativity here. And what did I say about VV being slow? I guess it just needed to add 1 mana, is what it needed to do. Is Wrath of God just the best thing to do in this format? Does it turn out that that's the case? Can't possibly be accurate. How many draw steps do we have here to find a braid? Not a whole lot. And we're also just like dead next turn. We play a creature deck. We play a creature deck. We just run into multiple Wrath of God decks. I mean, the prior guy's deck was great. It was focused. It was a control deck. Crocus, Wrath of God, Planeswalkers. This one, Mr. Robert over here, I don't know what. I guess it worked, so maybe I can't look down on it, but that was just very, very original. Well, let's just say that much. All right, see you. Heading into our next game here after some fairly disappointing losses. This time we're on the play with the Ragavan, which I feel great about. Last time we were on the draw with the Ragavan. We were about to run away with the game until opponent played a Wrath of God in their what was theretofore a white weenie deck, and then hardcast a Portal to Phyrexia. So hopefully we can apply enough pressure now where that won't be the case. Oh, well, there goes our pressure. That is unfortunate. We're just finding every kind of unfortunate matchup here. If I trade with the Bronco, oh, they're not even going to give me that option. Okay. Well, I think what we need to do is probably start pressuring in the air. And then maybe we can get some kind of showdown of the Skalds, pump our flyers action going on. Graveyard Trespasser. So we're against kind of like a blue-black mid-range deck here. That's fine. They got rid of our Lingering Souls, which we generally haven't been able to flash back. What are we going to draw? Are they contemplating attacking here and wondering if we're going to be able to crack back with Ragavan? I mean, they should attack. They're not saddling? And they show us a Stern Scolding. Okay, no blocks. I'll take the 2. Giver is fantastic. Okay, so now we're going to go Giver into Fable. And we'll send some flyers. Now the Giver is going to let Ragavan come through. They can't Stern Scolding Adeline. Going to see another Wrath of God from a creature deck, potentially? Well, let's find out. Astrologian's Planisphere is something that can block Ragavan. I have no words. Another Wrath of God creature deck. What am I playing? What is this game even? I don't understand how this game works anymore. So this is a colorless hero wizard, I guess. Go to some mountains. One colorless. So yeah, so that's colorless. So I can give Ragavan protection from colorless and attack. I think I want to play Adeline first. If opponent does Wrath of God me, well, you have to do something about it later. What do they have? They have some other kind of counter here. That like how many damn like Wrath of God creature decks can I play against? Adeline gets sent back. That's fine. Let's give Ragavan protection from colorless. Attack with everything. Get to exile Fallen Shinobi. That's spicy. And now here, Cecil is going to flip. But that's after they do Ancestral Recall. Nine. Dead, exactly. There's their second black. They attack with everything. Then Giver doesn't have to send Ragavan through. If Cecil does damage, they're going to take 2 and go down to 5. And then it'll flip into a lifelinker. They're worried about Cecil doing damage. Sending 7 at me. When they're gaining 1. Good for them. They have a gold span. We can gold span 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if they don't have counter, then this should be lethal. I guess removal is another thing they could have. Yeah, and they have something, of course. Why wouldn't they? Yep. Now what do we do? Probably need to hold back Giver, which means we're holding back Ragavan, which means what? We could let Trespasser through, block 2 things. This deals damage, it loses life, and it untaps. Or we send 2 in the air, you go to 6. If Cecil does damage, you go to 4. We have 3 in the air. It's not enough. Or Giver maybe gets another person through, but we need to survive them attacking. They attack with both of these. They attack with all 3. We need to chump the 5/5 and or block something. I guess we could let. It's just so brutal. I guess we just send 1. I mean, we tried to play cheap spells and interactions, and we're just getting out cheaped and out interacted. And we keep playing against Ragavan. I mean, they had ancestral recall. I guess it's a pretty big deal. Their 1-drop outclassed our 1-drops to an extent. These are just bad matchups, though. I don't know why. Like, it feels like our deck in a vacuum is better than the decks we're losing to, but they're just lining up well against us. I mean, that one control deck from a couple rounds ago, again, hats off to that. That was a very good deck, but these kind of scrambled creature Wrath of God decks, I feel like should be losing a lot more than I am losing, but just happen to line up well against me. Pretty good. They're I kind of have to block more because if another creature dies, well, I guess I could try to prevent another creature dying. So I guess we go block here. Then give it pro colorless. Do we ever win? We're at 1. We're dead to a trespasser trigger if a creature enters the yard. What can we do? We can reflection a giver. Use 2 givers to get Ragavan through. Or we could Reflection the Giver and use them to try and stay alive. If creature dies, we're dead. I mean, how do we ever win this? We do nothing, and they just attack with everything. We make a Giver token. We chump with the Giver token. We have two other things that block well, and then one thing that trades or chumps. I mean, I don't think we could play around anything. I think if they have more counter magic, we're just going to lose. So we just have to try to stick an Adeline because it's a real blocker. And if they have more counter magic, then we just scoop. Okay. Well, we can. No, we can't make an Adeline. Yeah, we just pass here. If we can dissuade an attack somehow. Oh. That 2, 4, 6 attackers, 2, 4, 6 blockers. I guess we're not dead to it. They have a removal spell though. We're just dead to a graveyard trespasser trigger. We're losing to the meathead. Rest in peace, Rob Reiner. One unknown card. Things coming in. No creatures in the yard to exile. Solve all of those things. So Reflection of Giver. I go to blocks. Now we're going to block. We have to block a flyer. This hopefully blocks something relevant. This is going to chump here. Then we have a 1/1 that can chump here. We'll put the opponent down to 6 and flip up a lifelinker. And then we have to chump with our other giver. Well, we don't have to chump. So we have 2 giver activations. We can keep Giver alive and Ragavan alive. I think that's probably what we want to do. So this giver is going to give Ragavan pro red. And then this giver is going to give this giver pro red. And then, I mean, this probably was the best result we could have asked for. What does the opponent have left? We might actually be able to win from here. Damnation? Okay. I mean, I guess they have a Restless Fortress. Oh, we can't. Carnage Interpreter. Oh, that's brutal. We're just going to die to this Restless Fortress now. We're color screwed. I guess we got a Showdown and try to hit something that can block. None of these things can block. We're just dead to the fortress. Wow. They see it? Yep, they see it. That's unfortunate. That's tough. Kind of got mana screwed a little bit. We never emptied our hand. Our opponent had like 8 or 9 lands in play. Ancestral Recall certainly helped them in that regard. Yep, 2 and 3 with this deck. I guess the stipulation didn't work. I guess what we should have stipulated is have power and ancestral recalls and all the cheap things. But well, we tried something. It didn't quite work. We lost to some interesting brews, to put it optimistically. But we'll try to do a little bit better next time. All right, thanks for watching.